All right, everyone, let's go ahead and get started. Good morning. This is Phil. Just a quick reminder, please make sure your phone's on mute if you're not talking. That way everyone can hear. And also as another reminder, this is being recorded. We'll go up to our YouTube page later today. So if you object to being recorded and you want to speak or whatever, please feel free to log off now and take a look later on the YouTube stream. Um, and just shoot us an email if you had any additional kind of like information that you wanted to provide that we could share at a later date and time. So, as a quick reminder, if you have not checked your IMATS account lately, please make sure you do. You don't want your account to be suspended. So, log into IMATS. I think every 90 days they require you to change your password somewhere around there. Please make sure you are doing so. This is our agenda, pretty much our standing agenda, and we'll hit a few things on the back end today. Hopefully, won't be here too long, so we can get you back to your day, but do have some important notes to share. We'll start off with our roll call, starting off with Anderson Hospital. From Anderson? Nope. Okay. Alton Memorial. Could the last person?
Sorry, I was on mute. I'm sorry.
Gotcha, Aaron. Is that you?
Alton Memorial Hospital.
Yep. Gotcha. Who else we got from? Is Rachel on it as well? I believe.
I'm here. Aaron's your main guy. I'm just here to listen.
No problem. Just make sure you're getting accounted for. Anyone from Boyd? Nancy, are you on? Carlinville Area Hospital?
I'm here.
I'm sorry, who was that?
This is Tyler.
Okay, gotcha, Tyler. Sorry, skip back. Okay. Staunton. Anyone from Community Hospital of Staunton? Nope. Okay. Fayette County Hospital? I know we got Tina on. I swear I seen her nice photo in the background. And I think I see her in the chat. So Tina, if you're on, just shout out when you get an opportunity. All right. Gateway Regional.
Hey, Phil, it's Rick. I believe Danielle's on as well.
I do see Danielle on. Thank you very much. Our HSHS partners, Holy Family.
Cindy from Holy Family's here.
Gotcha. Cindy, St. E's. Thought I saw we had two Tims on, maybe Tim Claxton. I don't see Brad. Okay. St. Joseph Breeze.
Stacy's here from Breeze.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. And who's next? Sorry. St. Joseph's Highland. And I got you, Dawn. Got you very much. Thank you. Jersey Community Hospital.
Nathan Bishop, I'm here.
Gotcha, Nathan. And why do we have Jersey twice? I don't know. Memorial Hospital Belleville, you got myself and Scott Klosterman. Lee and Mike Gilbert are out. They're actually here on campus, but one's in training and one is teaching. So both in training, I guess you could say. So for us in Shiloh, we're counted for. Memorial Hospital Chester, I don't think Georgia's joining. She said she would have to catch it on YouTube. Redbud. Anyone from Redbud? Nope. Okay, Sparta.
This is Dale from Sparta.
Gotcha, Dale. And Touche.
Hi, it's Amy.
Gotcha, Amy. Thank you very much. Over to our health departments, Bond County.
I'm here, Phil. I couldn't connect with Teams.
Okay, no worries.
But I'll just listen on the phone. That's fine.
Yep, no worries. Calhoun County. Clinton County. And Eastside Health. Eastside Health today. All right. Fayette County. Jersey. Right. Macoupin County.
Derek here, Phil.
Got you, Derek. Thank you. Madison County.
Michelle's here.
Thanks, Michelle. Monroe.
Vicky here.
Got you, Vicky. Randolph.
Deborah's here.
And we got two Randolphs here. Oh, let's adjust that. St. Clair County.
Good morning,
So,
it's Kara.
Kara.
I'm here.
Got you, Kara. Thank you. Our REMSC, Greg, are you on?
I am on, Phil.
Thank you very much. Our ERC, Beth.
Hi,
You on?
Phil. Beth is here.
Thanks, Beth. Any of our BJC partners on?
Hey, good morning, Phil. This is Jason, representing BJC and also probably our healthcare coalition on the St. Louis side.
Perfect. Thanks, Jason.
Hey, Phil, Sean's on.
Oh, gotcha. Awesome. Let me make sure I got you on here. All right. Our EMAs. I know we got Sam of St. Clair County. Which other EMAs do we have on? Any others? Once, twice, thrice?
Scott is here.
Yep, I got you, Tim. I ain't made it to my Scott Air Force Base area, but I'll take it. I know we got something right on as well, so thank you. So we'll move over to MedStar.
Good morning, Phil. You got John.
Gotcha. John. And anyone from Abbott? Is Leslie on today? No one from Abbott. Any of our EMS services? I see we got, I think Jeremy's on. Any of our other EMS services on?
Rural Med. Jeremiah's Rural Med's on.
Gotcha, Jeremiah. See Jeremy, but he hasn't said anything yet. So, but
Yeah, you got Jeremy with Mosquito.
gotcha. And folks from SLU, I thought I saw one or two. That Children's, that looks like Children's, okay. And from Scott Air Force Base, I know we got Tim McFall representing the emergency management folks. And Sergeant Wright, are you on 375th Med Group? Gotcha. Thank you. And last but not least, any of our STARS partners on?
Hi, good morning. This is Kristen Caps Jones with STARS.
Gotcha. And it's Caps Jones. Is that hyphenated?
Yes.
Okay.
Charles, Adam, Paul, Sam, hyphen Jones.
Gotcha. The I think you used like the 19 what do you call it? The World War II phonetic alphabet. I appreciate it. The do we have you signed up in Member Planet? Are you signed up, Kristen?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I have to double check because when I pulled this morning, I don't know if you came across, but maybe you did. So perfect.
Okay,
If you
I'll
received,
double check it as well.
yeah, and if you received the email from me this morning, then you're in there. So
Okay, yes, I did.
appreciate it. Yeah,
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. All right. Anyone else who may have not got an opportunity? I know I see, is that Wendy? Anyone else for a roll call? Nope. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. If you do, who's that? Go ahead.
That's Eric Perham.
Hey, representing the good old VA. Thanks, Eric. Look at that. Back around. Look like you never left, man. So
Never left.
Gotcha, Wendy. I did get you. Awesome. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. If anybody else wants to get counted for roll call, please just put your information in the chat and we'll make sure that you are accounted for. We'll start off with IDPH. Greg.
Morning, everybody. I don't have a lot, Phil. We've all heard that on May 11th, President Biden is going to be ending the federal COVID emergency declaration. Excuse me, I think that probably will be affecting the health departments, probably more so than the hospitals. But I did want to mention from an EMS standpoint, once again, that the emergency rules that EMS put in the administrative code during the pandemic have been formally adopted as permanent. You are able to find those now posted on the EMS website for those. And those were actually finally approved on December of 2022. But we sent out an email with a link to the EMS systems, and hopefully those systems shared it with their providers so they could go in there and actually see what rules have become permanent. And like I said, it was pretty much all of the emergency rules were approved. From what I know, the summit is still happening. That we were supposed to hear something at the end of this month, one way or the other. Beth may have gotten more recent information than myself, but hopefully we'll hear something very, very soon. Like I said, one way or the other. And really, that's pretty much all I have, unless anybody has any questions.
Any questions for Greg? All right. Let's move on. We'll go over to Beth. Any updates?
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, great. Yes, as Greg talked about, May 11th will be Red Circle Day, I believe, for all of us, especially the health departments. What we anticipate is that the vaccine will not be free anymore. There will be a charge. It will be kind of the same as the annual flu vaccine is. It'll just be like any other vaccine. Testing, it will be the same way. It won't be free of charge. It will fall in line with all of the other testing that the medical professionals provide every day. The biggest issue is then we anticipate that the governor of the state of Illinois will let the Illinois state emergency sunset on probably that same day, maybe a day or two before, we're not sure. It doesn't affect Missouri as much because the Missouri emergency declaration, as I understand it, was sunsetted back in December of 21. So stay tuned. Oh, and then of course the other thing is the money. A lot of the grants and extra money that came about will probably vastly slow down. There are some grants that extend beyond May 11th, and I don't anticipate those will change at all. But new funding sources related to the emergency will more than likely slow down, if not stop. As far as COVID, I just looked it up. Community transmission in the Edwardsville region, we have 1 county at moderate, 6 at substantial, and 4 at high, and that's community transmission level. And that's all I have. Oh, Greg was talking about the summit. I have not heard anything. The last I heard was that the RFP was supposed to be end, if not last week, then early this week. And then depending on who submitted, they should be able to make a decision here in the next few weeks of where and when it will be held. I have also been told that the main speakers have already been selected. However, no contracts have been executed or even started yet because The venue and day and location have not been confirmed yet. So I still have those dates blocked on my calendar. We'll just have to let the process run through. And that's all I have, Phil, unless anyone has questions.
Anyone with questions for Beth? Once, twice, thrice? Okay. Thank you, Beth. If we have anybody that joined from STARS and would like to make an announcement.
Hi, this is Kristen. I don't have any updates for the group. This is, my first meeting, so I'm just kind of getting the lay of the land. So thank you for having me.
Well, no, thank you, Kristen. And yes, we do, again, we provide you guys just the opportunity to make whatever announcements you guys have that you think are pertinent to the coalition. And again, we appreciate your support and attendance and continued partnership.
Absolutely.
So,
thank you.
I'm putting in the minutes. NSTR, nothing significant to report. All right.
Hey, Phil, I just want to jump on in the interest of
Sure.
our St. Louis coalition, just to announce our next meeting is scheduled for Friday, February 17th. All of our Hope Coalition partners are invited to participate. One of our commitments this year is to shrink the divides between the Hope Coalition and the St. Louis Healthcare Coalition and make sure that we can work more collaboratively to confront some shared challenges and hopefully identify solutions together. So more information to come with that, but yeah, welcome opportunities to collaborate and synchronize so we can be better together. Thank you.
Perfect, Jason. And what was the date again on the?
Friday, February 17th. So just about 2 weeks here. During that meeting, we will continue efforts with our newly implemented HMACs, our multi-agency healthcare coordination system. We'll talk on the MRSC exercise for the region, and then also some of our strategic planning initiatives and continuing the progress from last year and continuing that for this year.
Perfect. Okay. Thanks a ton there. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Anyone with any mental health updates? I know Dana isn't on. Anything specific from the mental health side of things? I know we try to carve out a little bit of time to talk about it each month. If no one has anything, I will state just the simple fact that we have been conducting our critical incident stress management team training. That's been going fairly well. We're going to talk about that a little bit here later, but that has been going fairly well, and we are seeing increases there, which is good, and we'd like to ensure that we're keeping up with the Joneses, so to speak, trying to stay, ahead of the loss of personnel that we may have in and around here. And our CISM team here for the region is always looking for additional support. So if you do have or a need or want to be a part of the critical incident stress management team here, feel free to contact myself, or you can contact Mike Gilbert or Karen Eisman here in my office, and they will get you information that you need. So, all right. We'll move over. I'm throwing over to pediatrics, and I know that since Eric has transitioned officially now, Scott Klosterman is going to fill what Eric's role has been during that time frame. We may have announced that last month, but just to let everyone know here, and I'll give Scott just an opportunity. Was there anything that you wanted to relay today, Scott?
Nothing much in particular. I guess just the standard plug for the EDAP, CDAP training and certifications for the emergency rooms. Other than that, I really don't have anything to report.
Got it. Got it. Any questions for Scott? Nope. And I know Mike was unable to join right now due to being in training, but what I will say is that they REMERT continues to plan for the Scott Air Force Base air show this year. Those dates will come up here later. I don't know them off the top of my head, but they continue to plan their weekly meetings with Scott Air Force Base and the team out there. I don't know if either Tim or Sergeant Wright, if either of you would like to speak on that, I'll give you an opportunity.
Hey, so Phil, we're gonna do a tabletop on Monday, and then we're gonna have a field training exercise on March 16th in preparation for it. So I know that anybody that's a part of the planning process is welcome to attend. I'll shoot you an invite just so you got it.
And is the FTX on March 16th, is that specifically a mayor that you guys are doing or no?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Sergeant Wright, anything? If that is a nope. Gotcha. Sorry, I appreciate it. Staff assistant visits. This is actually for Scott. So, but I will start off by saying this: we have begun providing staff assistance visits to the hospitals throughout the region. Scott has been our point of contact for that. So those folks who've scheduled them, he's made contact with several of you and has just had a few yesterday. So I'm gonna pause just for a second and let Scott kind of talk about some of the things that they've discussed and whatever he'd like to discuss about it. So Scott, what do you got on the staff assistant visits?
Yeah, as Phil said, the visits are up. Excuse me. The events are created in Member Planet. So if you would like to sign up, I do have an opening for 2 organizations a day on the days that I have them set up. It's usually the Tuesday and Thursday of my coalition weeks. I have it set up for 2. That way I can dedicate as up to about half a day with a hospital or other agency as just basically time demands. It is open to everybody within the coalition. The hospitals I've been to, Monroe County Public Health. I think that was earlier this month, or last month. And then it's also open to home health agencies and any other agency within the coalition that would like a visit. As far as the visit goes, the only regulatory thing for the hospitals that I've been asked to take care of and check out from Phil and Lee is your EMS go bags, just to make sure that you either have them ready to go or you can throw them together within the half an hour as per the EMS Act. Everything else is kind of up to you. I'm basically just kind of there to get your input and your requests, if you have any specific training requests or assistance with grant projects, assistance with really just kind of anything. If I can help, I will. If I can't help, then I'll figure out how to help and then get back to you.
All right. Thanks, Scott. Any questions for Scott? One of the things I did want to talk to with regard to the grant proposals and us checking the EMS bags. So, and Greg will have to correct me if I'm wrong, but to be clear, the EMS go bags, again, are part of the state statute and the EMS Act and outline the detailed inside the ESF 8 plan. Those are state required items that you have to have. And we can't supplant funds for things that you're required to have by law. And what that basically means is that those items specifically are the responsibility of the hospital and aren't necessarily to be backfilled or supplanted with grant dollars. So, and I'll pause a second for Greg to help correct me if I'm wrong. Is that right?
You're correct. Those are in the administrative code rules. I'd have to really double check that. My thought process is no, that it would be supplanting something that's required. Several hospitals, when we used to do the visits, who decide to keep part of their bags stocked all the time, rotate the stock. That has helped things from expiring and that. So they will actually rotate that stock to their regular stock in their emergency department. We've had ones that fill the bag entirely with everything that's required and still rotate all that stuff through. But Phil, it does sound like that would be supplanting, since it is required as part of the EMS Act.
Got it. Appreciate that. Okay. Go ahead and move forward. Project request for BP5 FY24. This is what we received in total for project requests. So we did talk, I think, last month about the telemetry set that we house over at Anderson and the need for it, and something that we are going to press forward with this year in the upcoming grant. So that's a fairly substantial purchase for us to, for the organization to buy and provide with those grant dollars. That's a big thing. And then the rest that you have there, got a lot of health departments submitting stuff. And some hospitals. One of the things that I always notice is that the EMS crews we don't get a lot of submissions from the EMS providers out there. And not that I need to know exactly why, but I would just challenge you guys to kind of look at what you guys do day to day, and maybe the training and certain spaces where you think you need to be propped up a little bit to help surge operations here across the regions. You guys are, I would kind of say that we're probably underutilizing some of those funds where we could be spreading them out across our EMS providers a little bit as well. So, just kind of put that in your brain and think about what your next year could look like. If there is any training or specific equipment that supports, maybe surge operations that you guys could use, and or supplies that may be able to help support that. Because, just looking back over the years, this is kind of what we kind of see, mostly hospitals and health departments with project proposals. So if you ever need help with that type of information, or what would qualify, please just let me know. Okay. But that's where we're at with project proposals for the BP5 year. And we will begin getting our or submitting for the BP1, I presume, for FY25 here. That'll be right around the corner. Normally we open that up 1 July and keep it open through December of that year. But so December of the end of the year coming up. But this year, I think we may want to open it up a little earlier and close it a little earlier, because from my understanding, the state is going to try to expedite getting the funds out. So we had a record year this year with getting funds out. And I would see, while we will be transitioning from eGrams to Amplifund, they're going to probably try to move the monies across even quicker in future years. So hopefully that you guys can find somewhere to make a submission and get those out. So speaking of submissions, a lot of those things are normally training. And over the course of the last year, we made a real push to stop buying major equipment. I know we just saw $144K to a telemetry set, but that's kind of an unavoidable cost because we want to maintain that. I've been asking everyone to look more so for the training opportunities and exercise opportunities to where we can begin better collaborating. So we've responded well as a coalition, and we put on a lot of training. back in July of last year during our coalition meeting, I kind of outlined this slide here that showed that 26% of our budget, about 125K, was for training, and those are all the courses, and we've knocked down a lot of those courses, which is great. We've had decent attendance, not great attendance, but decent attendance. When we get those classes and we get folks in and good folks provide a space for us, whether it's a hospital or educational or a facility, they provide that space for us. We want to make sure that we're leveraging them to the maximum extent possible. And to do that, we have to ensure that we're showing up for those classes. And gone back and taken a look at classes over the last year and a half, 2 years, we're about a 25% no-show rate. So out of every 10 folks scheduled, 7.5 are showing up. That 25% basically looks, in the end, as around I'm putting it there as a $31,000 loss or missed opportunity for training. So we're losing on about 31K of training each year. Well, I won't say. I'll just say 25% of whatever we've assigned to those training courses. And this only includes the courses in which we're paying for them as a cause of a budget proposal or what have you, where we're directly paying a vendor to provide training. This doesn't include our decon courses, where that money kind of comes out of hide and effort. But I could throw that in there as well because we still see a very similar trend. Okay. And again, the unfortunate part about it is that that while that impacts us with manpower, a lot of times it's filling a seat to where someone may have said, hey, I can attend that training, but we don't get a call or no, so basically no call, no show. And then when they don't show up, I can't fill that seat or Lee can't fill that seat last minute. So to help kind of thwart some of this, we are kind of putting in a no-show policy for training. The goal is to maintain at least a 90% attendance rate for those scheduled courses. If someone is unable to attend, so if you've signed up and you, for whatever reason, you can't attend that course, we're asking to give us 7 days advance notice as best as possible. Now, we understand that there are some emergencies, and we'll work those two things on a case-by-case basis. We get it. But we've had some folks, again, sign up for a class, not attend, sign up for their very next class, not attend, and sign up for a third class and not attend. Some of the classes that we're offering, specifically those CISM classes, you have to, like, if you signed up for all three, in order to do two, you have to do the first class that came in. So if you miss the first class, now you're going to miss out on the next two classes because they are built upon each other, and you have to have successfully completed the one prior. So we're going to implement, again, what we're going to call the 3-strike policy. So strike one basically means, hey, no call, no show for class. We're going to look to probably not allow you to sign up for that very next class. So if there's a decon class on 1 February and nobody shows up, we don't get an email, don't get a call or anything, and we had another class in March, we're going to ask you to sign up for the class in April, whatever the one that's going to be after that one. Okay. That happens again, we're just not going to allow you to sign up for classes for 6 months. Whatever the next classes are in that 6 months, we're going to ask you to not register for those. And this is all within a year. And if that happens 3 times out of a year, we're going to suspend you from attending or registering for a class for a full calendar year. So we're trying to do our best with putting on classes. People go through a lot, especially those who are hosting these classes, to put them on. And we don't want to waste their time. And we don't want to, again, I'm about as cheap as they come. We want to be able to spend the money, your tax dollars, very frugally. We want to make sure that we're executing on them as much as possible. So if you have questions or concerns, please send them to me directly. and we hope to see you at the next training. So any questions about that now?
Hey,
Nope.
Lee, Phil, this is Jason.
Yes.
No questions, really. I appreciate the accountability and the consequences there. Going back to that previous slide with your 25% no-show rate, I know we had talked, I think, pretty informally about participation opportunities from Missouri stakeholders in Illinois courses if there are spaces available. I wasn't sure if we needed to continue some of those conversations, identify if there's any like administrative barriers to that. Maybe you, Lee, Kristen, and myself could get offline with our chair, Nick, and just figure out if there's opportunities to support that and help maximize the value of all of these courses.
Indeed, and we've done that in the past where we've had a little bit of foresight, and we're able to leverage those just in the greater St. Louis area to attend. While we do, just like you guys probably should, you want to make sure your focus is, primarily the coalition. So the taxpayers of that state or their money is going to where it needs to go. But I would rather have a class full of folks from both sides of the river than to allow any of that to go to waste. That it's just it just wouldn't make sense. So yeah, I think we can come up with a very formalized way of doing that so that you guys have continued visibility and us the same on the other side to have that visibility to capitalize when we know we're going to have some shortages in training. So most definitely, I know one of the big ones we did that with was, and this was several years ago, 2016, I believe, when we had the Central United States Earthquake Consortium come in and provide that earthquake training. So we have folks on both sides of the river really attend that. That was a highly attended event. And I think we got a lot out of that. So thanks for the observation, and look forward to continued working with you guys as well. So
thank you.
All right, HVA kind of update, just so you guys know, we've talked about this in the past, but SIMP, SIMP was kind of up in the air, and that's where we've done our CPG planning and HVAs for the majority of time since I've been doing this. But we've had some years where it was down and there was contract issues, et cetera. Well, as of whether it's November, December, that contract has been, and Greg or Beth, correct me if I'm wrong, has been reestablished, and SIMP is open, and the HVA is there. So I'm encouraging all the hospitals, for those of you who have accounts that are working, to establish your SIMP account and make sure your HVA is done. If you've already completed your HVA, because we do a regional update each year, and we incorporate whatever changes we can into our planning documents. If you've already done your HVA through the Kaiser Permanente tool, because that was the selection that we made as a coalition a little over a year ago when we didn't have access to SIMP. That's how we completed it last year. If you already completed that, please send that no later than the end of the month, the 28th, to info@swellhope.org, so we can make sure that we're consolidating that information. Okay. And I know you guys are doing, lots of hard work just at your hospital. So if you can, please forward that information on so we can make sure it's consolidated. And we will, again, still check inside of SIMP for those who are still active. Greg, I don't know, I know we've had some changeover in a few hospitals. If everyone still has access to SIMP, if the new folks have access to SIMP, but I just would encourage them to get in there and update. And if you need support on how to update it, I definitely can help you. Lee could help you, or I'm sure Greg could, point you in the right direction on what to do inside of SIMP. All right. Upcoming events, as you can see, we got the CISM Application with Children event on 9/10. That's one of those ones where that was a building course. So folks who missed the first one, I don't believe can attend the second one. But we're looking at those lists now. I think we've made contact with those folks already. The Strategic Response to Crisis course in March. The All Hazards Moulage course, we're trying to get the payment squared away for that now, but we're still targeting April, May timeframe for that one. That one's going to be a really good course. And definitely we want to expand that one as much as we can. So, Jason, I think that's a definite one that you guys would probably want to be targeting. We do have a first receiver decon course over at Christian Hospital. I think Jeremy, as we talked, one of our instructors, trainers that we got set up, he set up his first class. So either Lee or myself will be a part of that one as well. And they will set aside some space for folks to attend on this side of the river. So another way we are collaborating. So that will be over at Christian, and primarily for his organization, but there will be some space available, and that will be inside a Member Planet for folks to sign up. And First Chief Decon and Scott Air Force Base Air Show. Correct me if I'm wrong. Those should be the dates. I'm pretty sure those are dates. But if they do change, let me know. The summit, those were the dates that Beth provided, I think, last month. And I think those are still accurate, and maybe they will change, maybe they won't. And then the big mercy exercise, again, because we were waived for doing the mercy exercise for this fiscal year, because we completed it the prior year. This one, or for the outgoing years, it's annually, and we're going to knock it out right after the 4th of July, so that week following, and get us off to a great start for what effectively will be BP1 in the new grant cycle. I see Brody says I have a 3 to 4 down for Moulage courses. Are these still tentative? Yes, but I would say that's probably going to be the date. So I don't want to step on any toes. I know, but we had some issues with getting that scheduled. That's why I was talking about working out the payment. So I don't know if that's going to slow down. So I'm going to open the floor, and Aaron, I see you have your hand up. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, I have a question in regard to the Moulage training. Is that the same one that I have scheduled here at Alton in April?
Yes.
So have those dates changed, or?
I haven't. No. I'm just saying that they may change because of the payment issues and the contract.
Oh,
So,
okay, yeah. Okay.
So we're still tentative where we're at right now. I'm gonna say
Okay.
they're pretty firm, but I'm trying to give you just a little insight that we're just having some issues getting the payments set up through the AP for the accounts payable with BJC.
Okay.
So just working through those wickets.
Okay, so I have rooms booked in April for that. So if it pushes out till May, just let me know so I can get space reserved.
We'll do. We're gonna try to stick to it as best we can. So.
All right. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Phil.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Greg. Just 2 things to go back on what you talked about, the SEMP access. Yeah, just reach out to Phil or to I with your name, phone number, and email, and we can send you an invite from the specific SEMP that you need access to. That's how that works. And then the other thing is just a reminder to EMS. I know you talked about them participating in some requests. I think that's a great idea. Training's wonderful. Any non-required equipment that would help with a disaster, but just a reminder that the same supplanting rules that are in place for the hospitals, there are quite a list of supplies and equipment in the EMS Act under the Administrative Code that each ambulance is required to have. So that could not be requested, as that would be supplanting, because you are already required by law to have those. But training, disaster equipment, that, a piece of equipment that would help in something, like in a disaster that isn't required in the act would be what would be allowable. So I just wanted clarification that for the EMS folks on the line. That's it.
Thanks, Greg. And the floor is still open. Any additional questions, concerns?
Hey, Phil, here. Hey,
Go ahead.
one of the things is we're gonna set up our DLX mobile field hospital in April. Right now, tentatively on the schedule, it shows 25 to 26 April. George is kind of been the POC for this event. So if folks are interested in coming out after it's set up to walk through it, to see what it looks like assembled and put together and footprint wise, because the one that we have is it's very considerable in size. It takes like half an acre. One thing that what we'd like is just to make sure that folks are going to come out and want to take a look, just that we get their names, because we just always know who's going to be on site to want to take a look at it. But yeah, please come on out, and once we get it set up, so that if I know that when we go to those conferences and you see like those folks from Western Shelters and BaseX and DLX, and you're like, what does this thing really look like? Here's a good opportunity to see what the one that at least what we have here at the VA.
Can you repeat that date, please?
Yeah, that date right now is set up for 25 to 26 April. And again, if you get a hold of George Karani, he will be, letting them know that you want to come out and be out on site, because we just want to make sure again that we know who's showing up for federal property purposes. But yeah, please let us know if you want to come out.
Hey, Eric, what's George's last name again?
It's Korany. It's Korany.
Korany.
Yep, and it is George.Karany@va.gov. So you need to reach out to him.
Can you repeat that one more time, that email address? George.Karany at what?
va.gov.
Okay, got that.
Yeah, va.gov. Yeah, again, Korany. I'll spell it one more time. Korany.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Common spelling.
Common spelling. Okay. I see a couple.
If you want me to do military phonetic, the VA, we're pretty good on all those ones that the non-EMS folks use, but more military. So.
Very nice. Kilo Oscar Romeo. Never mind. Let's go to Aaron. See your hands up, and then Scott after that.
Where is the field hospital? Where's the hospital going to be set up at?
Oh yeah, so that one we're looking at Jefferson Barracks as the tentative location. So if something changes, we'll get the word out. But right now we're looking at JB.
Okay. Thank you.
And Scott.
I just wanted to let everybody know that at some point through this week, I will be sending out more event invitations because I believe I only have the visits open through March. I will be sending out event invitations for April, May, and potentially June for the site visits. So don't be surprised if you see those coming across kind of in sync or in succession, just because I have to send them out one event at a time. Otherwise, it just doesn't work right with Member Planet. So I just want to let everybody know that those should be coming out by the end of the week.
Thanks, Scott. And Tim.
Hey, so Phil, I just read an email about personnel decon units being brought out to the air show. But I was trying to figure out. Typically, I hear something about that from Lee, but are you aware of this? And if so, what that's all about?
So yeah, we were asked to provide our decon trailer, and I do believe there will be an additional personnel decon trailer provided. I forgot which organization. I don't think Mike made it back yet to say specifically which one, but they during one of the meetings, I think last week or the week before last, they asked if we would be able to bring ours out. And ours is currently an op, but we're getting it fixed. So hopefully it'll be ready by that time. But yeah, it was they wanted it staged during the air show. And I thought that they were going to be doing a IPPD, an in-place patient decon, or setting up to talk about their in-place patient decon team at the Scott Air Force Base Clinic as well. So I don't know if Sergeant Wright has any information on that, but that's at least what I got this past week.
Okay, I was gonna say, John Noack's on here. We don't have any beds, so I mean, you know, we do field triage and we're gonna pass them on, but I don't know.
Oh, indeed.
So I don't know about any in-place decon or personnel decon that's gonna take place out here on the base. I just want to know about it because it's not in any of my plans. So I just would like to hear something. I'll reach out to the med group and figure out what's this all about. But I just want to know, because I know whenever they talk about personnel decon, normally Lee would hit me up, but I hadn't heard anything from him.
Sure. And Mike did just make it back, so I'm just gonna ask him, put him on the spot.
Yeah, throw him on the spot, Phil, because I was getting ready to try to answer him.
No problem. That was Tim was just asking about the request for us to bring out the trailer, the decon trailer for the air show, because Tim hadn't heard about it yet. Can you just elaborate on it real quick?
So the request came out for us to bring the trailer out to the air show because they don't have any quick method of setting up a decon line. If they do it, they're setting up tents.
Yeah, okay. Like I said, that's not in the plan because we just do expedient decon and we put them, you know, we throw them in the back of whatever ambulance John provides. Yeah, we don't do decon out here other than for responders, and we got a decon line and all that equipment. So I'll talk to them just to see. We're gonna actually do a tabletop, and I guess that'll be one of the questions I can ask about why, you know, who thinks we need that capability and how we're gonna execute it.
So Tim, I think part of the question came up was if we have a large event where we can't be transporting and we need to decon them rather than rapid decon them because they're going to be sitting there for a bit. I think that was more of the question they were looking at.
Okay.
And Tim, it's John Nowak. That is in the S plan now on the medical side, just the capability. So that's why the med group kind of reached out for it. We have always had it at every air show, but it's always come in strictly underneath the fire through special services.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, but that's expedient, so.
Yeah, and we'll remind Lee that he needs to reach out to you just to let you know exactly what's going on. Again, it was going to be used at the mayor, it was going to be part of a planning exercise too with the med group, trying to get their personnel familiar with the Hope Coalition's decon unit to where if it was ever needed anywhere else, or so that they would have the familiarization with how it works, operates, if they would ever need it too. So it was going to try to get a couple of things accomplished with it. So that's what's going on. But that tabletop, Tim, you keep talking about, when is that tabletop?
It is on Monday here on base, and it's going to be over at the 932nd Auditorium.
Copy that. Thank you.
All right, John.
Hey,
That's all
Phil.
I got.
Oh, sorry, Tim. Go ahead.
He said that was it. I got you, Tim. Go ahead, John.
The only other thing, sir, that I would have under open floor for you is your events. If you wanted to add NASCAR, the week of June 2nd through 4th, that's a large planning event also that's going on. That same weekend, we also have the Shriners in Belleville. So that'll be bringing in a very large boost in our population for that weekend.
Got it. So yeah, I will add that to the calendar or just to the dates that are out there, so everybody has SA on that. So no, I appreciate that. See what happens when you have one successful NASCAR event, you want to want to have another. They must have made money. So good work. Any additional questions, concerns from around the region? Okay, hearing none, we are right up against the hour. I appreciate everyone's time. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or Lee or anyone on the team for that matter, Scott, Mike here. I would say that if there's a year that I think we're going to be moving in a positive direction, after the pandemic, this is the year. I will be glad to see what happens after 5/11 this year. So, hopefully no more winter storms on the way or polar vortexes, since we've had kind of a bipolar winter this year. I'd like to thank everyone for their support. If you need anything, please reach out. If not, I will talk at you and the next meeting, which will be our quarterly meeting on the 1st of March. So 4 weeks from now, that'll probably be a slightly longer meeting just to go over a few things. But other than that, I don't think we got anything else. So thank you very much and talk at you soon. Take care. Bye.
So do you want me